Hello YouTubers, Doom143. Here we are with the second part of my huge haul video. I didn't want to do it in one sitting because it's going to be way too long. Actually, I already feel like this video is going to be too long. And to be honest, I feel like I'm already talking too much. Alright, so never mind this beautiful background we got going for you today. We're going to focus on comic books and what I've been picking up in the past, I would say about a month now. And there's some pretty big books in this one. You're gonna have to wait to the end. You know, if you're one of those people that want to watch the whole thing but you feel like it's long, I would recommend that you don't fast forward, only because like there might be some information I might be giving, and you know, if you don't get it, then you know you might be missing out the reason why I picked up a book or two. Also, if you don't watch the whole thing in one sitting, by all means, you can always check your library, check your history, and then, you know, you can go back and then just keep watching the video. So we'll just get straight into the comics. I've been talking now for about a minute, so let's just get straight into it. And so there was a lot of a book that came up recently on eBay, and I decided to go pick it up. It was something of a superhero that spoke near and dear to me as a child, and when I saw this lot of books comes up, I was like, it was so cheap. It was like 25 bucks, free shipping. It took a while because they sent it media, even though they promised priority. It took a while, but I'm glad it's here. And what I bought was the full set of, I can't believe I have this in my collection, Mighty Mouse. So yeah, I bought the whole set from the Marvel series. I'll go through them real quickly, and if there's any significance, I'll let you know. So this is Mighty Mouse #1. This homages the Dark Knight #1. Had to pick this up. Really loved Mighty Mouse as a kid. So this is Mighty Mouse #2. This is actually his origin story right here. This is Mighty Mouse #3. So this is the first appearance of Bat, and this comic kind of loosely homages Submariner #1, and then you got that guy some more. I don't know, not Namor, but Saymore, I guess. So yeah, really love these Mighty Mouse books. This is actually a George Perez cover coming up, and as soon as I show it to you, you'll be like, oh, that's George Perez. But yeah, this homages Crisis on Infinite Earth #7, and this is the first appearance of the anti-Monitor. not the anti-monitor, but the anti-Monitor. So yeah, and you know, this is a pretty iconic cover that we all know that George Perez did, and George Perez actually did this cover as well. So honestly, love that one. This one is Mighty Mouse #5. So this one homages Crisis on Infinite Earth #12. So here we go. Love that one. Love having this one. This is a really loose homage that's coming up, but it's supposed to be Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man #1. But this is Mighty Mouse what is that, 6? I think we're on 6. Yeah. So this is a very, very loose homage, but that's what this one is right here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of old, so Mighty Mouse was kind of big for me. This is Mighty Mouse #7. Here we go. You got the Bat origin, right? Mighty Mouse #8. Here we go. I thought this homaged that Superman comic where Superman meets Superboy Prime, but I'm not too sure. And if it is, it's probably a very loose homage of that as well. You got Mighty Mouse #9. Here we go. And then the last issue for that series is Mighty Mouse #10. So I was able to pick up the last issue as well. I'm sure these books already had a low print run, so this book might even have a super low print run. So those are some of the books I was waiting for before I did this haul. The rest of the books that are here are books that either I went hunting out for, whatnot, eBay. I forgot what most of these were or where I picked them up, so I'm just going to go through them really quick because the big boy books is pretty sure what you guys came for. But I got 2 copies of these. I just thought it was a hot cover. So this is Moon Knight #2. This is the duel variant. I really like this outfit. Looks like something that they could use in the MCU. He's already out, you know. He's already got his own show. I kind of saw the outfit, but this just kind of has one of those vibes that something that MCU would have done to him. But I don't know. I thought that was cool. And then this one right here, I picked up the Moon Knight number 4. It looks like who's that? Steve Platt, but it's not. But yeah, there you go. Moon Knight number 4. Other books I picked up, I think this came in a lot with some of the other books, was this Thor number 1. It's a dope cover. I don't know. I just picked it up. I think that was a Whatnot buy, and it was like super cheap. So I was like, I'll just pick it up. Whatever. I found this Death of Wolverine number 2. The only reason I picked this up is just I absolutely love this cover. I just thought it was a beautiful cover. This one is done by Francis Lionel Ewell, and absolutely love this cover. I just think it's just really awesome. I think it's a 1 in 25. It's just a sick, dope cover, and you know, it's not going for a lot right now. So yeah, really liked having this one. It's a cover I can look at for a while. So you know, it's a really nice one. I picked this up from Manny NYC during one of their auctions, the New York Warriors. So I picked up just a copy of Rogue One. This has a lot of first appearances in it. And this one right here, the Force Awakens. Again, another bunch of first appearances in it. And Star Wars books are hot right now. Not necessarily these ones right now, but I figure I'll just pick them up. Also, you know, it's a nice way to support the community when they're having auctions as well. You know, if anybody in the community has auctions on Instagram or YouTube or you know, whatnot, I try to support these people. I'll pick up 1 or 2 comics and stuff like that, just to show, you know, just to show the support. A book I found while hunting, I thought was pretty interesting. I actually have 1 copy of this. This is another copy I found. This is Ant-Man number 1. The reason I picked this up is because of that right there. So this has the Strange Academy preview. So technically predates Strange Academy number 1 by, I think it's 2 months. So, you know, Strange Academy is already super popular. Strange Academy number 1 is already a hot book. But I always thought this was kind of interesting that these quote-unquote previews within the comics never went for anything. There's a bunch of different comics that has the Strange Academy preview. I think one is a Ravencroft one. If you're hearing that sound, sorry. I'm outside. I'm outside in the patio. There's neighbors around. Sorry about that. Somebody's drilling, obviously. But yeah, anyway, getting back to this book. I always thought this was interesting that this book really didn't go for much with the Strange Academy preview. But you know what? It could be one of those books down the future that people start talking about once Strange Academy starts getting bigger. Because that's usually what happens, right? The obvious books always get hot. And then for some reason, all these hunters start finding all of these minuscule things. That is something, we're seeing that with Cad Bane right now. Like, this is his first appearance, but no, there's a trade paperback with his first appearance. And there's a coloring book with his... it gets crazy, right? His hobby's crazy. It's fun, but it's crazy. But yeah, there you go. Ant-Man number 1. Just thought it was an interesting find. Another Wolverine purchase that I made that I just thought was a gorgeous cover. This is Wolverine number 4. This is a 1 in 20 Pascal. And honestly, I just thought this was just a gorgeous cover. I think this was also another Whatnot purchase. And yeah, I'm one of those people, I'm kind of into those artsy covers as well. Not just your typical badass covers, but you know, this has an art kind of feel to it. It almost has a watercolor. And honestly, I just really like this cover, so that's why I picked it up. I'm a big cover guy for most people that don't know me. Really wish that thing was not on right now. I think this was a bulk purchase from Whatnot. But the reason I picked it up is for the last book. So we have Spider-Geddon number 4. Dope cover, like this one. No reason other than that. There was a JR Venom in there, which I think is like the ugliest Venom I've ever seen. This was part of the lot as well. Web Warriors, I'm hanging on to this one for future spec. It's yeah, I think it's a 1 in 25. But really hanging on to anything right now that has to do with multiple Spider-Mans. Anything with multiple Spider-Mans and touching on Miles and touching on Ghost Spider or Spider-Gwen. Right now, just kind of hanging on to these things. So yeah, I mean, if they become something awesome, I know Spider-Punk is also huge right now. So whatever, anything that I can pick up right now that includes a mass quantity of spider heroes, I'm just picking them up, especially if they're variants and especially if they're cheap. But the reason I picked up the lot is the guy had this in the lot. It's a horrible condition book. There's a lot of stuff going on up here. But this is Thor, Avengers, well, it's Thor, number 390. The reason this book, if you don't know, this is the first time that Captain America picks up the hammer. And, you know, so it's one of those interesting books. We already saw this in the end game. We saw Captain America pick up Thor's hammer. And it actually, this is the first time it happened in comics. There you go. Losing my train of thought over here. Actually, I showed this book on Instagram. I thought it was pretty funny. So I actually found this copy of League Extraordinary Gentlemen number 5. And for people that don't know, there is an error if you find it. Now the error has an ad towards the back, and it's selling women feminine product, the douche product, right? But since this is technically DC, they actually made the article saying that it's the Marvel douche, right? So that's the error. And then if it's not the error, it'll say the Amaze douche, right? So I didn't open it up. When I found it, I was like, you know what, it'd be fun if I went on Instagram, just opened it up and try to see which one I got. And I got the non-error one. So no big deal. I think I spent like $10 on the book, which is pretty much the going rate for that book. However, if you do find an error for that book, you could get up to $1,000 to $2,000. It's a pretty sought after error book. It's kind of highly well known. And if you didn't know, well, now you know. Let me see what else. I picked up some books from Big Leg on Whatnot. Not too sure which one. I think it's these 3 books, and I'll show you the slab that I picked up from him. So I picked up Carnage USA number 5. Believe it or not, these books, they actually go for money. Carnage USA is a highly sought after, title that was going on. And I picked this up. I think even just like a regular cover A goes for like $10 to $15 sometimes. I picked up this pretty awesome Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man. Had to pick this up. I just thought it was a badass cover. Big Leg was selling it on Whatnot. Had to buy it. Red Goblin number 1. This is a 1 in 25. This one has a huge tear right there, but it was a 1 in 20. No, actually, I think this might even be like a 1 in 50. It's a high-end ratio, but it does have a tear. I got it for cheap. I don't know if we're ever going to see this guy again, if he's going to make a bigger comeback. I know we just got the Queen Goblin, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. All I know, I saw an opportunity to pick up this, a 1 in 50, for super, super cheap, even though it does have that tear. I saw the opportunity, decided, you know what, I'm going to go take it. I'm going to go buy it. I got 2 other books from Big Leg during Whatnot that I'm super happy, but we'll get to that when we get to it. And then one last lot that I picked up from Whatnot. So I picked up this Ghost Rider number 28. So this is actually a connecting cover. I don't have the other side of this, but this book alone, this variant for number 28, already fetches like 20 something bucks. So it's a pretty dope cover. It's done by Silvestri. Ghost Rider in blue. You don't really see that too often, so definitely had to pick this up. I got it for really cheap. Every once in a while on Whatnot, you can find some deals. It's hard a lot of times. You gotta be patient, but if you are, and if you know what books they're showing, there's possibilities that other people don't really know what that seller is showing, and that's where you can pick up one. And I did have one. I had one, and I'll show it to you when I get there. that nobody knew what the person was selling, and I got the book super cheap. But anyway, back to the same lot. I also was able to pick up this for cheap too. This is Spider-Man. I think this is the first appearance of the Iron Spider. And I guess the new Sinister Six for Miles. So this is Spider-Man 234. I know this book was hot for a minute. Kind of cooled off, died down. And to me, that's literally the best time to pick up books is when they cool off and when they die down. I don't like to pick up books when it's on the hype. Every once in a while I'll experience FOMO, but I've gotten a lot better at it. Picked this up too. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 95. This is when Jennika becomes a turtle. I'm pretty sure about that. So I think this is when Jennika becomes a turtle. Yeah, this book was hot at a minute too. Died off. And that's why I'm picking them up. And I just picked up this Virgin. I don't even know what this is. I just thought it was a dope cover. But it was all part of one lot. So the guy on Whatnot was selling those books. It was going for cheap. And the thing about Whatnot is once you buy your first book, it's usually a $4 shipping. So that's usually the reason why you want to stay on, because every book after that is only about $1 shipping. So really, that's kind of how I picked up some of those books. All right. So now let's get to the bad boys, right? So speaking of Big Leg, he did have... actually, you know what? Let me show this first. Let me show these two first, and then we'll go back to that. So there's a couple other books I picked up. One is the speculation that I saw that no one's talking about, so I figured it's the best time to look at it. It's not even really a spec, actually. It's already come to fruition. But this is the first Clea cover. So if you're wondering who Clea is the new Sorcerer Supreme. So you're gonna be seeing kind of like this female Doctor Strange more often. That's Clea. And this is her first cover appearance. Now her first appearance is already Doctor Strange's, I think, first appearance too. So I wasn't going to pick that up. But I was wondering what her first cover appearance was. And this is it right here. So it's Doctor Strange 175. I got a really decent copy. I think it would fall somewhere in the six O's. And this is also the first appearance of the Son of Satanism. But yeah, the reason I picked this up was the first Clea cover. And it's a pretty dope cover for Bronze Age, so really liked it. And the other book that I picked up is this one. Avengers number 10, or I guess 700. So there's a couple of reasons I picked this book up. One, you're looking at the first appearance of the Red Widow. You're also looking at Scourgeon Supreme of America, their first appearance. You're also looking at the first Agents of Wakanda. They're all in this book. But an interesting part about this book is this is the book where Blade joins the Avengers. So I think there's a bunch of different variants for this book. This is Avengers 700. But that's the reason I picked this up. There's just a lot going on. But more importantly, I think the first appearance of the Agents of Wakanda, and secondly, Blade joining the Avengers is in this book. And so, yeah, I just thought it was a pretty interesting book, Avengers 700. All right, now let's get to the big boys. So, getting back to Big Leg, I did pick up a slab and one other book. We'll get to the other book, but the slab that I picked up, and he had this at a great price, is a 9.8 Superior Spider-Man. I forget what number. 25. This is a variant. I think this is J.G. Jones, I think. Right? Yeah, J.G. Jones. And I've always loved this cover. I've had this come and go in my collection a bunch of times. I've never had a 9.8 though, so I got myself a 9.8. That glare is killing. Oh, there you go. So yeah, picked this book up, 9.8, and Big Leg had it at such a great price on Whatnot. And I just had to pick this up. I just think this book is just so bad. Like, this is one of the dopest Venom covers, period, like, out there. It's just, bar none. That's one of the dopest Venom covers out there. Alright, so I bit the bullet, because all you guys are talking about it. And I figured, you know what? What's the harm in it? So I heard about this spec early enough to pick up the book where I wasn't damaging my wallet. And what I did is... I picked up 2 copies of Black Panther number 3. So this is the first appearance of a new Black Panther, I guess. His name is Tosin. I'm not going to try to even try the last name. But it's in here. It's a backstory. It's a pretty thick book, so it's one of the stories that's in here. And it's a first appearance of Tosin. Now, this is not the 1 in 25 variant, and I wasn't going to spend that kind of money. However, because the news was that this is supposed to be the next Miles Morales or the next Ultimate Fallout 4, I didn't think it would hurt to just pick up a couple of variant covers of this. So that's what I did. Picked it up. I think I picked this up at like $10 a piece. I think they're going for $30 a piece now. So yeah, I figure, what the hell? Why not? I probably will send one of those out to CGC just to have it. Just to say I have it. Put it away. Forget about it. And if something happens, something happens. If nothing happens, nothing happens. No big deal. I spent $20 total on 2 books. So no big deal. Alright. So remember what I was saying. There's opportunities on Whatnot. But you also have to know what you're buying. And you also have to hope that nobody else knows what they're looking at. So, what popped up was this right here. Marvel Zombies, #1. This is, I think it's just a 1 in 25 variant, to be honest. So, you would think a Marvel Zombies #1, 1 in 25. Sorry. There has to be a lot of print run on this. It's not going to be really rare. Try to find one on eBay. This thing is pretty close to as ghost or as hard to find as you're going to get. As of right now, today's like February 8, 2022. There's none. There's none. The last one that sold on eBay, I think sold for like 100 something bucks, $170. And that was a raw copy. That was the only one. The guy on Whatnot had this book up. I bought it. I think I bought it for like $30. And to me, that was a steal. Like, that was a steal because I knew what this was. I knew how hard it was to find this book. And, yeah, sorry about that glare. But there you go. So you got Elsa Bloodstone, who's also becoming super hot right now. Yeah, and I was just really happy. When it came in, it wasn't a super 9.8 condition. It's got a couple of spine ticks here and there. But it's just so hard to find this book that just finding it alone, to me, was a huge, huge thing. So I was super happy about that one. Also on Whatnot that I got for cheap was actually information. So there was a gentleman selling on Whatnot, and then in the back he had a banner. And his banner, he had his website. So he had a website. So I figured, you know what? While he's having his Whatnot thing go on, I'll go check out his website. It's a very small website, and to be honest, I already forgot what it was. I went in, I checked it out, and he had, I don't think I have the 2 comics here. No, yeah, he had this comic at like an absurd price. It was like super cheap, like ridiculously cheap. So I picked it up, and this book, when I came in, I mean, we're talking 9.8. So definitely getting this one slapped. Invincible Iron Man, #9. What is this? First Riri. I don't know what we're going to call it. Everything's get so confusing these days. Sorry about the helicopter. But yeah, Invincible Iron Man, #9, second print. He had this on his website for like a phenomenal price. And I just picked it up. And then I went off to Whatnot because he wasn't selling anything I was looking at. But on his website, he had a couple of things that I was just kind of mind blown. Oh, where is it? Ah, never mind. Dang it. Yeah, so I picked up 2 books. One of them was a Moon Girl variant that I couldn't believe the price he had on that one. I think he had that one at cover price. And it was a book that goes for $30. Sorry, I don't have it with me. I can't show it to you. And then he had this one. So yeah, super, super stoked on picking up that one. Back to Big Legs. So I was saying that on Whatnot, I was in Big Legs auction, or I was watching Big Legs auction. And he did a small preview of some of the books that he was going to be selling. And he had one book in there that I knew I had to get. I knew I had to get this book. He also had a bunch of Ultimate Fallout 4s and some other stuff that he was trying to sell. I didn't pick up any of those. The prices went crazy. But the price for this book fell right into that area that I was willing to pay. And super stoked on having this one. It's probably, if I get this graded, maybe 9.4. I could hope for a 9.6. I don't know. Knowing CGC, I might even get a 9.2. But It's in a pretty high grade. There's an obvious tick on it, but I wanted this book for so long. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 654. This is the second print. This is the first Flash as Venom. And I've been wanting this bad boy for a while. And I finally got to pick this one up. And yeah, I got a presser who knows that I'm sending him some stuff. A lot of the stuff that I'm sending him is probably from this video. But this is one of the books that I've been trying to get at a really good price because it's available to buy on eBay. It's not like a ghost book. It's hard to find, of course, in the comic shops. And maybe you might see them at a con for a ridiculous price. But I didn't want to pay those prices, you know. But this fell right into that price range where I was like super happy. So yeah, I'm so stoked in having this book. Also did pick up this book. I'm pretty proud to say that I own another copy of this book, but it's not the first print and it's not the variant that we all know, but I'm still glad to pick this one up. So I picked myself up another Ultimate Fallout 4. This is the second print where Miles is showing his face. And it's a really clean copy. That was the only reason why I picked this book up. I have actually no interest in picking up any more Ultimate Fallout 4s, but for the price the guy was asking, which was like $100, and in the condition that this was in, I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and pick it up. You know, you can never have, I guess, enough of these, I guess. But this is a book that I'm actually kind of happy I picked it up. I've been in one of those people that's trying to avoid this book because I already have the Dirjevic. I already have cover A. I don't really need another one, you know. And but yeah, I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I picked this bad boy. And the last book. So it's been a book on my list for a long time, like 4 to 5 years. I've been wanting to pick up this book, and so if you watched the video before this. I showed a ASM 300 and a Secret Wars number 8. And so I bought that from a guy here in Hawaii who's kind of offloading some of his books in his collections, probably to just buy bigger things and stuff. And he was asking me what kind of books I like. And I told him, you know, I like stuff like that, you know, Spider-Man 300, you know, New Mutants 98, that kind of book. So I also like rare variants too. And he's all like, I might have a book you might be interested in. So I was like, okay, you know, let me know. And he showed me the book. He told me the price. I went and visited him in person. I saw the book in person. And in the condition that this book is in, and it will get slabbed. But yeah, I decided to pay the price. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be here and say I found this book at a garage sale for $1 or whatever. But I found myself a Batman 608 RRP. I paid for the book. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I paid for the book. But look at this. I mean, look at the edges. That's just the Mylar. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the book. Is that the book? No, that's the Mylar. That's the Mylar. That's the Mylar. This book is beautiful. I mean, this book is beautiful. I'm not a grader, so I can't say whether this is 9.8 or not. I know it's a high graded book though. So got this book. Got myself a 608 RRP. All right, I knew that was going to be a long video. Thanks for sticking it out. And yeah, I don't know when I'm going to do my next haul because I just spent a lot of money in the past 2 hauls. And believe it or not, I'm going to get a lot of this stuff slapped. So that's going to cost money. So we see what happens. All right. Anyway, everybody be safe. Shoots and malas.